Let's close this out properly, because understanding projection is one thing, but carrying it, living under it, and mistaking it for your identity, that's what keeps people stuck. Welcome to part 6, how to stop carrying other people's projections. And if you don't learn how to separate what is yours from what is projected onto you, you can spend years healing wounds that were never even yours to carry. But that ends here. Projection only sticks where there is an opening. And here's the truth. Projection does not land everywhere. It sticks where there is an opening, meaning you have unhealed shame, abandonment wounds, self-doubt, guilt, lack of boundaries, or a need to be understood. That's why some people can say something about you and it rolls right off. And other things cut like a knife because they found the wound you hadn't fully closed yet. That does not mean what they said was true. It means it found an entry point. And once you know where these openings are, you stop confusing activation with truth. They're just activating wounds that you haven't healed fully yet. What they projected onto you was often about them. They'll call you too much, too emotional, too intense, too sexual, too deep, too hard to love, too difficult, too independent. But if you really look at it, most of what they are reacting to was the part of you they could not control, dominate, or digest. And because they couldn't hold it, they labeled it. That's what people do. When they do not know how to face something honestly, they reduce it. They name it, they shame it, and they don't have to transform in response to it. Stop internalizing other people's distortions. This is where a lot of damage happens. Because if you hear something enough times, you start to internalize it. Now their projection becomes your insecurities, your self-concept, your doubt, your shame, your hesitation, your silence. And that is how people lose themselves. Not always through one big traumatic event, but through repeated exposure to someone else's distortions. That's why healing requires more than just moving on. It requires you to deprogram yourself. You have to ask, what did I start believing about myself that was never actually mine? I'm gonna say that again. What did I start believing about myself that was never actually mine? That question alone will change your life, because your body actually holds the projections too. It's not just mental. Your body at a cellular level holds those projections. That's why after certain people you may feel heavy, anxious, disconnected, ashamed, tense, confused, hyper alert, or emotionally numb. Because the body stores what is said, what was done, what was implied, what was violated, and what was never made safe. That's why reclaiming yourself has to include the body, not just the mind. This is why they keep us detached from the body, because your body knows before your mind does. It's not just about the thoughts. These are energetic imprints into the cells of the body. And this is where dis-ease starts to set in your body. Your body has been trying to process these distortions the whole time. Now, how do you stop carrying it? First, you have to name what happened. not the softened version, not the spiritualized version, not the maybe I'm overreacting version. The truth, the unadulterated, raw, unfiltered truth, which is what I love the most. You have to ask, what did this make me believe about myself? What part of me agreed with it? Where did I abandon myself to survive this? What do I need to do to return to myself now? Because healing is not just about releasing them, it's retrieving you. And that means your voice, your boundaries, your body, your instincts, your sexuality, your softness, your anger, your truth, all of it. Boundaries are an energetic practice. And let me say this clearly. Boundaries are not just communication. They are your energetic self-respect. Because every time you over-explain, reopen the door, make yourself available, or keep offering sacred access to someone who has already shown you distortion, you re-enter the field. That's why some people can't heal, because they keep touching the fire and calling it closure. No, closure is not always another conversation. Sometimes closure is no more access. That is what closes the energetic loop. Reclaiming yourself fully. Reclaiming yourself means you stop asking, why did they do that to me? And start asking, why was I still available for it? Not from self-blame, from power. Because once you shift the question, you stop centering them, take them off the pedestal, and start restoring yourself. Put yourself back on the pedestal. And that is where your real healing begins. Not when they apologize, because they've done that 10,000 times and they never were sorry. They've proven that. Not when they understand. They have made that a habit of misunderstanding. Not when they come back different. A leopard never changes his spots. But when you decide what is mine will remain with me, and what is not mine returns to the sender. That is the shift. So no, you do not have to keep carrying what was projected onto you. You do not have to keep wearing what was never your shape. You do not have to keep healing as if you were the source of all the damage. Some of what broke you was never yours to hold in the first place. And now you get to put it down. Isn't that beautiful? If this series hits, go back and listen from part 1 through part 6, because this was never just about them. It is about your body, your boundaries, your shadow, your projections, your discernment, and your return to the self. Follow, rate this show 5 stars, people, and send this to somebody who needs to know that they can stop carrying what was never theirs in the first place.